So you've just heard about how traumatization is encoded in the amygdala. And now I'm going to tell you about how havening has a different reaction. And so we once again have the receiving cell in the amygdala. And instead of the 4 conditions of Emily, we now are at the other side of the process where we're using havening touch, and bilateral eye movements. So that is havening touch and bilateral eye movements. And instead of in the encoded traumatization process where gamma waves are engaged, havening touch and rapid eye movements result in generating something called delta brain waves. And this is a much slower frequency than the 100 hertz that the gamma frequency was. And this is 0.5 to 4 hertz. So you can see much slower. And as a result of using havening touch and bilateral eye movements, that then has an impact on the cell in a different way. It sends a message which results in the AMPA receptors breaking down and going into the cell. So they were previously on the surface of the cell, and now they are inside the cell. And this process is called depotentiation. Previously, it was called potentiation when the AMPA receptors came to the surface of the cell. And now at this side of the havening healing process, the process is called depotentiation, where the AMPA receptors go from the surface of the cell into the cell. And we also have another reaction, which is that there are now no longer any unhelpful responses. So the fight, flight, freeze, defensive, rage responses are no longer there. The stimulus and the emotional response has been delinked, There's a delinking the emotional response from the stimulus. And there are once again, some neurochemicals which are associated with this process. One is called serotonin, which I'm sure you are familiar with. Serotonin. Another one is called oxytocin. And we also have GABA, which means gamma amino butyric acid. And so all of this is involved in the process that results in a delinking of the emotional response from the stimulus. So we're going to explain the traumatization, encoded traumatization, and the havening process in more detail in later videos.